I want to say welcome to the inaugural virtual Right Night here. And this is a special Right Night dedicated to racial justice. And so my name is Marcus Bullock. I am the CEO and founder of the company Flick Shop, and I'm super excited in order to be able to be here and to not only introduce the night and have some fun with you all tonight, but because of what's going on inside of the country and the world, this is a very, very special evening for me as we talk about not only the what's happening around the country, but how it impacts so many of the men and the women that are sitting behind bars this evening. So I think to help give context, I'd like to talk a little bit about my journey and how I ended up here this evening. And then I think that we'll be able to help understand how we can join together inside of this night as a community, band together, and experience some incredible poetry that you'll hear from some of our guys that are a part of the Free Minds program. So the reason why this mission is so important to me is because I myself personally spent a ton of time locked behind bars and sitting behind a window, wondering whether or not there were people in the world who cared about me. Back when I was 15 years old, about a week after my 15th birthday, I made one of the worst decisions of my life, and I carjacked a man in the shopping mall parking lot. And that decision landed me in front of a judge with my mom and my sister, nieces, aunts, and uncles, everyone standing right behind me in that courtroom as the judge sentenced me to serve 8 years in adult maximum security prisons. And which meant that as a 15-year-old kid, I grew up inside of the prison system and spending the rest of my teenage years and my early 20s growing up inside of those cells. And I'll tell you, for the first 2 years, my immature brain couldn't even wrap around what was really happening to me. I lived in such state of denial and delirium that I didn't even want to accept what was going on in the world. And it wasn't until one day when I was walking around the prison rec yard with my boy Danny B, who was around mid 50s, because prison is one of the only places where you can be like a 16, 17-year-old kid and then like be best friends with somebody that's like 55, 60, and like it all be good. And he and I were walking around that prison rec yard one day, and I had asked him, because I'm like a vet now because I had been in prison for 2 years. And I'm like, yo, how long have you been in there? And he looked at me, he told me he had served 31 years. Immediately, my palms got sweaty, my heart dropped down to my toes, and it smacked me like a ton of bricks that I definitely would have to serve all 8 of my years as a 17-year-old kid. Because if they would keep a man in there for 31, surely they would keep me in there for 8. And at that time, as that same happy-go-lucky kid that had so many ambitions of graduating from high school and going to college and making my mom proud as I graduated with my electrical engineering degree, immediately got shattered by slamming doors and just a walk around the prison rec yard with Danny B. Immediately, I got depressed and hopeless, and my mom saw this, and she began writing me. She began to make a. She began by making a promise to ensure that I saw that there was life after prison inside a prison visiting room by telling me, Marcus, I promise I'm going to write you a letter or send you a picture every day for the remaining 6 years of your sentence. I'm going to band together and get the people at the church. I'm going to get the friends at your school. I'm going to ask them to write you letters. I'm going to get them to be able to send you messages of hope and love, because, Marcus, you need to understand that there's life after this. And that's what she did every day until I came home in 2004. Now, fast forward into those days in 2004 when my mom was there to come and pick me up from Coffeewood Correctional Center with my sister and me crying like a baby and being amazed by the world. You can't believe how much the world changed from 1996 to 2004. Like, it was no internet when I went to prison. Then I came home, it was like Google. Whole mind was blown and life was changed. And the reality of it is that the only reason I kept my brain together and my psyche ready to go is because I had someone on the outside that was there to say, Marcus, you matter. And there are millions of people that are sitting in cells all around the world not having that sentiment. And so when I had an opportunity to learn about an incredible organization like Free Minds, I love to be able to band everything that I can inside of not only the technologies that we build and allowing Free Minds to leverage our technologies to stay in contact with all of the folks that they support throughout prisons around the country, but also how can I leverage my time to be able to help our community understand the value and importance of things that are going to happen in nights like this evening. So tonight you're going to hear from a bunch of folks tonight, who are writing incredible pieces of work, and they're not only expressing their work through what they're seeing in TV around the changing times that we're living around while we're all living in cooped up homes as a result of COVID-19. But you're also going to hear from how they think about the world around them and how they see and want to contribute to all of the policy change and the anger and the frustrations, because they're some of the same folks who probably will want to light the same cities on fire, because they are the reason, they're the epitome of what we talk about when we talk about systemic racism and injustices that probably landed them in their own cells. Because I'll tell you, when I went to going to court when I was a 15-year-old kid, the reason why the judge saw me and said, it doesn't matter that no one got hurt, it didn't matter that no one got murdered, I'm still going to certify you as an adult and send you to prison, is because the policies that during that time supported an agenda that called me a super predator. And because there were so many things that were happening in the country around that time, laws were made and created that put so many of the men and the women that are writing those songs on those same sheets of paper and submitting them, and so that we can be reflective of tonight, they're sitting there in those cells. Now, we're going to hear from some of those folks, and I'm excited that you're going to join. But I think the most impactful piece of it is that not only will you be able to absorb and consume some of this amazing artwork, but you'll also be able to contribute by writing and putting your own ideas and helping to add your own comments to this work to help them understand that their lives matter, just like my mom did for me. I'm super, super, super grateful to be here tonight. And I want to be able to make sure that we have enough space to not only have this incredible conversation, but give space for us to be able to engage. So I want to make sure that all of you know that you can join us in the chat, ask questions. And as we all remember and read these powerful poems about the Black Lives Matter movement, I want to personally be the first one to say that I want to thank you for being part of this Free Minds multiracial coalition that's standing strong against systemic racism and the power of our community. We have the power to do this together, and I'm super proud to be one of the ones to be a part of the fight. Thank you guys so much for joining us this evening. Let's have some fun.